have an effect. One of the areas that I commonly will tell people to use this in is in conversion. If you're trying to convert somebody, there's a positive and a negative aspect to the conversion. The positive aspect is they have to receive the actual grace of conversion. If they don't receive it, they're not going to convert. It's that simple. But that's not enough, because the demons can step in and by playing on our mental faculties, they can actually block people giving consent to the grace or going along with the grace. Even though they might be getting that grace and getting gnawed at, they're going to stop. They're just going to not follow the path of that grace. So I tell people, do binding prayers over the person who you want to convert. That is, especially like if it's your parents or something of that sort. And what I've found is that it's had a huge impact. I know one woman who prayed for her husband for over 20 years. Like almost 30, I think. And prayed for his conversion. He was a really good man. I mean, you couldn't help but like the guy, but he just would not convert. So I said, here, we'll start saying this binding prayers against any demon keeping the person from converting. Within the year, he converted. So this is, and you say it once a day or whatever the case is for another area. So you can do that for conversion, people who are not doing the right kinds of things, etc. Another area that this is really helpful is when you notice, for example, that your children are engaging in certain kinds of behavior that are inappropriate. One of the areas that I use this commonly is, I get it about 3 or 4 times a year. Someone will show up on my doorstep and say to me, my daughter is dating a guy who's bad news. And she just loves him to death, doesn't see the fact that he's a schluck. So what can we do to get, what do I do? So I said, we can pray for her to get the grace to see the guy's faults. But I said, the other thing is to start saying binding prayers over them for any demon that's keeping them together. Now I came to that conclusion because I once had a case of a woman who was possessed. She was of Jewish extraction, very interesting case. She's of Jewish extraction. The demon was a generational spirit that started with her grandmother. And the grandmother, we found out, was in the concentration camps in Nazi Germany, and that Eva Braun, who was the mistress of Hitler, had put a curse on the Jews in the concentration camps. And so as a result, they were subject to this curse. So after we found out about that, I went to her father and said, did your family have these particular problems which are associated with the curse? He said, every one of them. So the point being is,